Ah, there we go.
Just like that. I'm sorry. I had to wait for my phone to like actually charge. It's been picky lately.
No problem. This is my first time doing this, so I was sitting here clicking all the buttons, and it absolutely failed.
Okay, so for future reference, if you're trying to do a TikTok live, if you look in the bottom left where it's gray with the little the skip sign,
Okay.
that will normally be red and blue, and that's where it'll pull up the options on who to invite to join your live. But right
All
now it's
right.
gray because we are dual living, and you can only have one dual live going at a time.
That makes sense. All right.
But yeah, no, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the invite. Maybe I shouldn't be wearing my earpads because I'm getting my own echo in my own ear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, echoes are bad. Except for me, I'm the best echo.
Stupid technology.
Okay, I'm gonna laugh at my own pun. You guys, you just. That was a weird ringing sound.
That's not good. Is that coming from me?
Okay, it stopped. Oh, now I'm getting an echo.
Something weird is happening. I'm gonna hold my phone.
That's a weird
It's
sound. I
almost
feel
sounds
like
like
I'm about to
crickets.
get abducted by aliens.
How's
Okay,
that?
are we good now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just hearing myself twice.
Give me a second.
Oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to do that on live. Hold on. That is a great comment. I wish that there was a way to like record that comment for the YouTube because I want to put that on there, Dino Des. That is fantastic.
It's my AirPods. I'm gonna figure this out, I swear.
Don't ask me. I don't know how AirPods work.
I just thought it'd be better not to have the sound coming out of my phone and then into your ear, and we wanted that.
Hey, Vix.
I'm frustrated.
I didn't see. I was distracted by the sound, tiny guy. You know I'll always pay attention to you.
Say that again?
I was yelling at tiny guy because he was yelling at me in the comments.
Okay. All right, yeah, I think I'm working now.
Woo! Okay.
And I have no echo, and I can hear it through my earpods. All right, it's working.
I mean, you
Yay!
have one echo, one singular decent echo. Me, I'm echo.
Oh, touche. So yeah, are you going by Echo these days, or are you still are sticking with Sage? Because
Well, Sage is my
you went back
name,
to Sage, didn't you?
but I didn't want to completely lose my entire identity from Diesel's Echo, and most people weren't calling me Diesel; they were calling me Echo, which my spell table name is Aries Angel. Aries is a dog
Mm-hmm.
name. And then my TikTok, my old name was Diesel's Echo, and Diesel and Echo were both dogs. But Echo I had for the least amount of time. So Echo's the one that least sounds like a dog's name to me. So Echo was the one that I preferred people call me.
So it sounds to me like you have a lot of different online handles, and we're gonna have to help you settle on one.
Well, okay, Diesel's Echo is my Twitter, my TikTok, and my Instagram. The problem is that I had made my spell table before I had a following, before like people knew that I existed. I got spell table thinking it was similar to Arena, learned it wasn't, and then got on TikTok. Like I don't know how that happened. I got on spell table one day and I already had an account, and I was like, I don't remember making this. So I just assumed I thought it was like Arena.
I suffer from the problem that my TikTok handle isn't even mine. I'm part of a group of hosts that some buddies of mine from back in Columbus. We have a podcast called The Hateful Geeks, and I told them, well, my wife convinced me to get on TikTok, and I thought it would be smart to, um, you know, advertise the podcast, which we don't even do anymore. So I might need to rebrand.
All right. So, first question is always the same. Are you okay with me recording this and putting it on YouTube?
I am.
Fantastic. That's the most important question.
Consent given.
Right. I need consent for all of the things. But, let's go ahead and take a minute and let you introduce yourself to the people.
Oh, man. This is the part I didn't prepare for. My real name is Phil, but I've gone by Cash for like 30 years. I'm old. The reason for that is the very first anime I ever watched in like elementary school was on Sci-Fi Channel called Kashern Robot Hunter, and I've been obsessed with it. It's my favorite anime of all time. Like from back in the 80s, they did a remake in the early aughts called Kashern Sins, but it's like your post-apocalyptic cyborg robot fighting other robots. Your typical anime fare. But it's always been my online handle is Cash. So everyone just called me Cash for like years. So it's pretty much just stuck. I'm from Washington D.C. originally, but I've moved to Columbus, which I lived most of my life, and now I live in Indiana with my wife and my 2-year-old daughter. I only recently got back into Magic the Gathering when Strixhaven came out because my wife's a huge Harry Potter fan, and I had nobody to play Magic with, and I thought it'd be if Strixhaven was about magical school. I figured I could sucker my wife into playing Magic with me, and it worked. It worked like gangbusters.
Real quick, when this is over, we need to like connect because I also live in Indiana, and I need to know if we're close or not.
I'm in the northeast side of Indianapolis.
I could not tell you what my town is, so short of saying I live in this town, I can't tell you.
No, of course, no, I understand completely. No, but yeah, I don't mind. Like, yeah, come at me, guys. I live in Indianapolis. It's a big city. Good luck finding me.
I live like 30 minutes from Indianapolis, but I couldn't tell you what direction. One of my jobs is in Indy.
That's cool. What do you? Can I ask what you do for a living, or is that something you're not keen on sharing?
It's posted all over here. The job that's in Indy is Highline Electronics, and we sell refurbished open box TVs. So basically, somebody buys a TV, they don't like it, we get it, we check it, make sure it works, and then we resell it. So
cool.
Really nice brand new TVs at a ridiculous discount. You can buy a $3,000 TV for like $1,000.
I might. I'm a network engineer, so I work from home all day, so I don't get to see sunlight very often.
We should check it out. It's on the corner of 71st and Zionsville.
Okay.
Anybody in Indiana who needs a new TV, come see me at work.
Cha-ching.
But anyway, so how long have you played?
Oh my God. I have something very special for this question, and I'm really excited to share this with everyone, our followers. So I've been playing since 1994.
That's longer than I've been
This
alive.
This is like you can tell how old I am, because like this is like my mom was like, you write your name on your book when you bring it to summer camp with you, sweetheart. So this is my first 1994 Magic the Gathering Pocket Player's Guide.
That's
and it has all the
crazy.
old school rules. This came out when Revised. So I've been playing since Revised.
That's crazy. That book is older than me.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, 19 circa 94. It's older than a lot of modern Magic players. Which part of me was actually kind of reluctant to get back into card slinging because of my age. I was worried that I would be like, I don't know. I didn't want to be the leper at the table. Like, who's this old guy? Like this creepy old guy. Like, oh, back in my day, we tapped all the mana. Like, I didn't want to be that. And then I realized that like the great thing about this community is it spans like all age groups. There's new players joining every day, and there's players from back in like, oh man, I've met people that have been playing since beta.
I
Yeah, they're
personally
older than I am.
I personally believe that the people that have been playing the longest are the ones that need to stay in the community so that us youngins can get ideas about what it used to be like and know where we came from. I don't want us to get entitled or privileged. I want us to appreciate how hard the game is.
I That's one thing I think. God, I've never. I think okay, real talk. I've dabbled in maybe one or two other like competitive card games. Nothing's as good as Magic. Like Magic is just the game designers are the smartest. The style and the art is the best, and I just can't. I'm not going to knock on other card games. I just can't get into Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon. I play Pokemon Go, no hate, and I love Red and Blue, but I just the card game versions of them, I just don't. It doesn't have like the. I feel like Magic is chess, and everybody's got their own board. But these other games, the designs of them and the game theory behind them is just so simplistic. If you're not playing a turn two win deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, you're not playing it right. And Magic's not like that. Magic is for all kinds of different skill levels. I love it's to me it's the superior game.
So, next question. Although based on how long you've been playing, I'm gonna guess it's probably a very common answer. How did you get involved?
How did I learn to like start playing Magic? Like how did my oh man. All right, so I went to sports camp because my parents didn't want to let me like roam the neighborhood during the summer. So I needed structure in my life. So I went to like a camp I grew up in Northern Virginia. And when I went there, I'm like, of course, like the pudgy uh, middle school kid with no friends and didn't know anybody. It was just wanting to learn how to play football properly. And all there was this huge circle of kids just playing cards. So I just like waddle over to them and like, what you guys doing? And the rest was Magic history. I made like some of my longest life living friends in that moment, and I started playing the next day. Like my parents took me to my local game shop and let me buy a couple starter decks. They were they weren't pre-cons back then. They were just starters. So you just buy like a big paper like a little cardboard box of it, and there'd just be like a crap ton of lands and random things from all the colors. Think of it like a really big booster pack, but nothing good inside. And that's pretty much that was it.
That sounds like a great way to get involved. Definitely
I
better
think
than some of the stories I've heard.
I think there's some like friends. I don't know. Like, that's one of the best things about the game is like playing with your buddies and having my friends. We were learning the game together because we were all pretty young at the time. So we're talking like 150 decks that had absolutely no like win conditions, no strategy. There would be a 0 on the EDH scale, and this is before EDH was even a thing.
That's
And then
so
fights break out. I remember some really good fist fights back in like middle school over Magic cards, but
well, I mean, I guess we're going to talk about fist fights. Why don't you go ahead and tell me about a terrible way you've lost a game?
A terrible way that I've lost a game. Actually, I'll tell you recently. It was 2 weeks ago. I went to Commander Night. It was my first night out after a pandemic. I went to my Commander Night at a card shop in Noblesville, Indiana, called Moonshot. I did a little review on it. If anyone checks out that has seen that video, it was a pretty good experience. I met a lot of people that were a lot younger than me. A lot of the tables were filled up by the time I got there. The group that I ended up playing a game with were they were siblings, and they ran the gamut from like single digit age to like mid high school, and I really was like uncomfortable to sit down at the table. But they were welcoming; they wanted to play, and I wasn't going to sit there for 3 hours waiting for another table. So we had a good time. The problem was that they were all very, very new to the game, and it's not a bad thing. But when they're like stratting out vocally to each other, like "Let me see your hand," like "Play this, do that," I'm like, part of me was like, "This is cool. You guys are learning." But I feel like it's 3v1 right now. So after I took out the eldest and then the middle, I let the youngest beat me to send a message to the other two. And he didn't really let him because he played this card that basically like this. I was playing my Knight Sir Gwyn Hero of Ashvale deck, and he shut down all my best. He board wiped all my artifacts, so I had no equipment on her, and then he beat me. And I'm like, you know what? Congratulations! Now tell your dad. But it was the couple guys at the table over me. I looked at me like, really, guy? I'm like, oh man. It's like cloud. It's cloud.
As somebody that has a Sir Gwyn deck, I can understand how frustrating that can be.
It's a fun deck. I like the Knights. Like I was going to call it my Game of Thrones deck, but it's better than Game of Thrones after that last season.
Well, that doesn't really sound like such a terrible loss. I mean, you taught a lesson.
I think that it's important that if you're learning the game, you express that before you play. I don't mind table talk, but because politics is one of the unknown best like hidden skills of Magic talk. Like if you're learning how to play the table, like that's a skill that isn't on the cards, and kudos to anyone who knows how to do that on a regular basis. But this was more like do this and you can beat his knight, and do that and you can beat his knight. I'm like, why don't you tell him how to beat his other sibling up? Oh, targeted.
That's fair. So why don't you tell me about a fun way you've won? Let's get off that sad subject of loss.
Fun way. Is Joey in here?
Joey was in here. I don't know if he still is.
I was playing a spell table game with Joey and a couple people. It was my virgin run of my Krark Sakashima deck, which my supporters and my followers helped me make because of my ignorant pull of the Krark's thumb from the list on one of my Strixhaven boosters. So I basically fell backwards into all these cards that were almost making up a Krark deck. So I put one together, and on its first run, and it was a turn 6 win with an Infinite Seething Song combo for mana with a Comet Storm drop to basically blast everybody at the table for infinite damage. I got the hairs in the back of my neck were standing up. It was it was a sweet, destructive victory. I was literally like played 2 cards, and I'm like, let me tell you how this is all going to work, guys, and let's just play a new game. Scoop it up. I never got to do that with a deck before, so that to me will always live in infamy for me. That was one of my favorite games.
I don't think I played that game, but I think I played against that deck.
I think you did, and I screwed up because I was a little inebriated that night, and I accidentally was rolling double dice instead of the singular after my Krark thumb got destroyed, and I took the L for my own screwing up of my own mechanics. So I think we were playing I think I was playing EDH Outlaw Richard. But yeah, he was like, "Oh man, you forgot that you don't have your Krark's thumb anymore." I'm like, "You're right, I don't."
Yeah, I didn't know who anybody else in that room was. I was just trying to figure it out. Nobody would answer me.
There was nobody on that night. We were like trying so hard to find people to play, and so yeah, thanks for joining us for that one too. It's hard at like 11:30 at night, 2 in the morning finding games. It's not easy.
It's the only time that I play. It's the only time I have free time.
The nighttime is the right time. And if anyone out there is listening or watching this right now, this is a formal challenge to EDH Outlaw Ricky. He is never on Discord when I'm on Discord, not once. And I want to play him really badly, but I can't. I don't know what his time schedule is, but I must face him in magical combat.
All right, sounds like a formal duel. Me, you, Ricky, and Ricky's 4th.
I love it. I love it. I'll let it. That sounds like a good time. But let's let's team up on the Outlaws because you know that they're gonna have a strategy going into this game.
Ricky was here a minute ago. I don't know if he's still here.
I was on his live a little bit earlier. He was teaching somebody how to play spell table, which I was like, that's a great idea. Giving somebody a tutorial on that program. That program made Magic somehow better during pandemic.
Right. Magic would have probably died out because not everybody was as lucky as me to have their LGS sell food and be able to stay open. Because that's the only way that I got my Magic was our LGS moved to a coffee house right before the pandemic. So because they had a food license, they were able to stay open.
Oh, nice. That's smart. Yeah, my wife and I only recently moved to Indianapolis, so I don't like. I left all my buddies back in Columbus. I don't have a regular LGS that I go to. And then pandemic hit, so I'm like, now what do I do? I can't. I have literally no access to a social life. So
Well,
now that it's over, I've been kind of like getting out there again and trying to check out some stores.
if you don't mind a 30-minute drive, you can come to my LGS. Or there's a really great one in Avon called Games to Die For, but it's two, the number two, and DI, like a die.
Yeah.
I know the owner. He's great. I love that place. That's where I go when I have a ride.
So far I've been to Game Time and Castleton Mall, which is like semi-central Indiana.
So there's one
I've
that's
been to
called,
Moonshot Games, which is
I think Game
eh,
Time is the one that my parents are obsessed with.
it's you walk on the outside of it, you wouldn't think much. Plus, it's not really in the nicest area, but you walk inside. The owner Jeremy is the man. He is super cool. The store itself is nice and clean. They have decks. They have like just cases full of singles you can check out.
Okay,
It's
it may not be the
fantastic.
same one then. I think I'm thinking of a different place. I think this one's called Family
There's
Time Games. Maybe that's the difference.
Family Time Games on the north side of Indy, and that was not the best experience I had going in there.
That's the one that my parents are obsessed with, and I don't get it. Not to
They had
not
a good
to crap on a store.
space.
It's just not my favorite. They are not Magic based. They're more your tabletop game based.
They're Warhammer 40K
Yeah,
miniatures,
yeah.
big time, and I used to love that stuff, but I don't have any armies anymore. I don't play it anymore. So I went in looking for like a Magic crowd, and they were like, "Well, our singles are over there in that binder," and I'm like this binder? Like, what are you talking about? Like, where's your man? They don't. I don't think that's the type of thing that they cater towards. They're very much a models, miniatures. There's Yu-Gi-Oh going on a
Their
lot, but
dice are beautiful though. This one set, dude, I love it.
oh, those are pretty. I
I
like
get.
that.
Everyone was saying how much they love. I'm missing a die. 1, 2, 3.
So I bought myself when the last time I went to Dragon Con, which is a convention in Atlanta. I bought myself one of these, which is like a book, but it's not a book. It's a dice holding case. And with it came these amazing silver plated dice, which I use when I play my my D&D character that I hunt werewolves with. I can't remember his name anymore.
Tiny guys say that we need to go up to his LGS in South Bend.
Okay, what's it called?
I don't know. He didn't say that. He just said y'all need to come up to South Bend and go to my LGS. I think he's telling us
Ti-
to
ti-
come to South Bend to see him and then like use the LGS as an excuse.
I
I think
mean,
that's the excuse.
I've got a thumbs up from my wife to once every couple weekends to go on like a gaming nerd quest to find a store that I can do like a TikTok about. So if Tiny Guy 83, if your store is legit it's fantasy games, okay. If you like it, I'll come by. I'll do a video on it. I'm
Do a
trying to get
video
some
about
clout in Indiana.
his. Do a video about mine. Do a video about the one I just told you about, and also
Yeah, I got a lot.
hit the couple of game preserves that are there in Indy because I've had questionable experiences with them, and I don't know if it's just because I'm a woman and I go in there with my mom, so it's two women going into a nerdy store, or if they just hate everyone.
Wow, it's I mean, at this point in time, I have like 6 weeks worth of content for all these stores I'm going to be visiting. So that's awesome. I'm excited, and then gives me a chance to see the state that I didn't really get to when I first moved here.
Yeah, no, traveling by game stores is a really great way to go. When my friend first moved to Lafayette, the first thing we did was go to all three game stores there in Lafayette and figure out which game store was going to be her game store.
That's cool. Yeah, do I only want one or do I go to multiple? I'm not gonna lie. The last time, Moonshot was really cool when I went in there. I really liked the setup, but they kind of like I don't want bad talk a store, but when I went in there for the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms pre-release, I was super excited because I just did my like review video of their store, and the guy was like, "Yeah, we're doing that tonight." And he seemed really excited when he was telling me. I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I'm here." He's like, "But it's at our other location." I'm like, "Oh," and he's like, "And we're full." I was like, "Say what? That's not what you told me last Sunday." He's like, "Nope." He said, "Yeah," because I was told walk-ins were fine. Nah, no, they were not fine. So I had to. I basically got on. I hit the Google. I went to Game Time in Castleton, and Jeremy was like, "I got product for like 400 folks, man. Sit down and have fun." I bought 2 boxes, and I bought my pre-release kit, and I got the worst. I didn't get a single card that I want. I let my wife open up one of the boxes, and she was like, "My luck will take care of this." And I hope she's not watching right now because she got worse draws than I did. So this might not be my set. I don't know. I got like I got the white planeswalker, which I was like, oh, cool, but not cool.
That's the Planeswalker I got. Not a fan. I'm gonna sell it to my buddy tonight.
It just seems pointless. And the card I really wanted was Tiamat, and because I got an Ur-Dragon deck, and then I kind of realized like I already have an Ur-Dragon. I don't really need a Tiamat, but I want one. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't get any dragons. The only dragons I got were uncommon, and I was so heartbroken because it's the only I was like dungeons and dragons. Nope, I got all the dungeons, no dragons.
I got all the dungeons and most of the dragons.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Did you pull off any of the mythic ones that you really liked? Which mythics did you get?
I didn't get any of the really fancy ones. I just got like the borderless green dragon, borderless red dragon, and a borderless white dragon. Then I got a red dragon and a white dragon, and it was like I just wanted a borderless green, a borderless red, and a borderless blue for that deck that I have that I need them for. But it's fine. I'll live. I've got cards
I
that
wanted
are
to.
worth something that I'm not going to use that I'm going to trade for, the dragons that I didn't get.
I did get all 3 of the Vecna pieces. I thought that was pretty cool. I got the Eye of Vecna, the Hands of Vecna, and the Book of Infinite Whatevers.
That's awesome.
I mean, I'm not gonna play it. Do you want? I'll trade them to you for something if you want them because I don't really play mono black.
I only have the one mono black deck, and it's my rats. So
Oh, don't tell anyone. Oh God, it's such a stupid thing to say on like a live. But don't tell anyone this. But I'm building a Krenko deck.
I support this decision.
Yes. Yeah, I see so much Krenko hate, and I'm like goblins.
I'm not building Krenko. I'm building the Gruul legendary goblin, but I am going to build goblins.
Oh,
There was too many Krenkos that I was like, that's boring. Let's do this instead. But anyway, we're getting off
John.
topic here.
John 1313 got a Tiamat, 1 icing death, and 2 of the blue. Like, thanks, John 1313. Let's twist that knife, my friend. Yeah, we are off topic. We're supposed to be asking me silly questions that expose me.
I told you I had the reason to be scared and not you. All right. What's my next question? So what types of decks do you prefer to play? Blink, tokens, aristocrats, etc.
You know what? I've dabbled in a lot trying to kind of find my niche. Like right now, I'm really big on tribal. I got Knight Tribal, I got Dragon Tribal. What's the other big one that I did? Actually, those are the 2 big tribals I've done. I feel maybe I'm not that big in a tribal. I built an Ur-Dragon deck because I love dragons. I'm that kind of fantasy nerd kid growing up. I like winged beasts. I love them. Um, but right now I think my primary deck is the Krark Saka, and that's my only really competitive deck.
Right.
Um, when I played Standard, I played a lot of Token Boros. Back during the Theros block, I had a deck that was red. It was red white, Elspeth Sun's Champion, and a lot of a Crowan like soldier token creation, and then like just swarming with that. I like that type of play. It was very overwhelming and fun. I'm not a big Nope player. I think it's probably easier to ask me what I don't play. I don't play even when I play Blue. I don't play a lot of Nope.
That's fair.
It's all about. I play a lot of copy and control, but I don't play any in response to that. You never hear me say in response to that.
I play a lot of.
Or will you pay the 1?
of a copy and a lot of draw cards, and that's what I use blue for. I don't do a lot of counter spells. But so I was doing some light stalking, as I do before every TikTok live with the Magic Talk, because I want to get some more personal questions and let the people actually get to know you.
Okay.
So I have not so much a personal question as it was just like a question based on one of the videos that I watched, where you were talking about Infect. And so this is a question that I have for just about anybody that says they like Infect, but they don't like Infect in Commander. Which is, do you think you'd like Infect more in Commander if it was half of your life total the way that it is in the, standard formats?
Well, it's really funny. I want to kind of build on the context of that. Like, so that was a random question somebody Q&A'd me on, and I haven't, since my return to playing the game, I haven't even played an Infect deck. Nobody plays it, or at least nobody in any of the circles that I've weaseled my way into have been playing it. I played it a lot back in the day in Standard. In Standard, it made sense because of the half the life total. But now you've got cards like Vorinclex, you've got cards like Doubling Season. Infect as a mechanic can work, but I think there needs to be some tweaking. And I don't know, maybe if we're talking in Commander, then yeah, I agree with you. It needs to be half life total, period. But that has to be a house rule because that's just not how Infect works. I don't really have a horse in this race. It's the same thing with the Hull Breacher ban. I don't have one. I don't play one. I don't play against it. I would say live and let live. If you want to play Infect, more power to you. But if you're gonna play it against me, just let me know up front so I know that I can cry later in private. Maybe not privately. It'll probably be pretty openly. I don't know how you feeling about Infect. Have you played it very often?
I like it. I wish I would play it. The problem is my reason for not playing it, and even took any cards that were rats that said Infect out of my rat deck, was the fact that I know how other people don't like it. And I'm the type of person that I don't play to win, I play to have fun. So if we're not having fun, I'm not having fun.
I agree with that. And I think I mean, it really depends on the person, but there are people out that you see even mention the word infect and they scoop and go home.
Exactly.
I guess you know what, that's kind of like the big thing about the people who make all the who pull the triggers on banning cards. They're always determining whether or not the game is fun if this card is in play, and if it's not, it's gonna hit the ban hammer.
So while we're talking about Infect, do you have any favorite keywords?
Oh, hmm, that's a hard question.
I don't see how, but you're allowed to think that it's difficult.
Menace. I like menace. And I think it's because Menace is like one of those, like, you see a lot of decks out there like, I got this one giant big bad Voltron guy, and I'm like, that's cool. Do you have a second one? Nope. Bye. Menace to me is like, it's just like it's that sleeper keyword that just when you see it you're like, oh crap, I do hate that.
Menace
But
is
I like that feeling. I think before that it would have been Lifelink, but I don't have enough good cards with Lifelink on it.
Lifelink's really easy to get into, though. I build way too much Lifelink.
Trying to help my wife build a angel deck, a mono white angel deck, and I'm like, well, then the moment I'm like, that's not going to be competitive, and then before I can finish my sentence, I don't care. I want angels. Yes, ma'am.
Well, actually, you should reach out to Cascading_Spirits, Lyra. They have a mono white angel deck, and so does Ashwi, and both of them would probably be really good people to go to on how to play mono white angels, because Ashwi's is actually really mean.
I played Ashley in a couple games on her Discord a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I don't think I got the chance to play her Angel deck, but if she's got one, I'll reach out to her. Thank you. I could use some tips on what kind of cards to supplement
Oh,
because it's
absolutely.
bare bones right now.
Yeah, I tried to do it at one point in time and gave up. And then, yeah, it just was. Angels is not my favorite tribal. But speaking of tribal, you said you like tribal. So if you had to say that you had a favorite tribal that maybe you haven't built yet that you want to, not including goblins, what would you say it is?
Let's see. Well, I've built goblins, I've built dragons, soldiers, and I've built knights. Um, I want to do demons. I want to do like a demon tribal deck. I think it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but it's something I want to try. I
It
think
would
it's something that'd be fun.
probably have to be
I always like the
Rakdos.
art.
I can't think of
Yeah,
who
I
a
could do
good
Rakdos.
commander would be for that, unless you went Kalia, but demon tribal.
Like I said, I got very little experience with it. I'd have to do a lot of googling, but yeah, I think that'd be fun. I like the art too. I feel like I was playing like a cover of a metal band the whole day.
I think that would be a fun take on Kalia, because I've only ever seen Kalia as Kalia Angel Tribal, Kalia as a little bit of all three tribals, but it would be fun to see Kalia as a demon tribal, even though she's a cleric, just because it would be funny. But maybe that's just me wanting more Kalia decks, as a person with a cat named Kalia.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I named all my animals after fun nerdy things too.
Not all of mine, just my cats, Anakin and Kalia.
Just your cats.
My
Is it
dogs.
spelled the same way?
Huh?
And it's spelled the same way?
Yeah. I named her after the
Okay.
card because I got a cat and couldn't get the card. And then the card was gifted to me, and I was like, well, it's fine.
Yeah, both now.
And then Star Wars is my dad's favorite, and my cat is black, so Anakin just fit. He was supposed to be a girl, and if he was a girl, his name was going to be Una, after Queen of the Fae.
Mm-hmm.
I was between Una and Lotus for Black Lotus, but he was a boy, unfortunately, so he's Anakin now.
I'm 501st. So I had a buddy of mine. He named his son Anakin. We don't let him live that down. There's fans, and then there's fans.
That
kid's
sounds
gonna
like
go.
my
Like
dad
I'm
had
looking.
gotten a choice in our names.
I named my daughter Kira after the. Don't tell my wife this because she didn't know this at the time, but I named it after the Gelfling from Dark Crystal.
That was the first thing I thought of when you said that.
Yeah, I'm a big like old school Henson guy. Like I named my dog Ludo after the big burly thing from Labyrinth. That like Ludo spelled
It's
bad
funny you're
because he's
talking
Saint
about
Bernard
that,
and he does.
because somebody in my comments over here, like five comments ago, was bringing up that conversation that we had in the Discord where they were just like, "You remind me of the Babe," and we literally did like the entire song line for line back and forth. Labyrinth is my
I love
favorite.
Labyrinth.
I'm getting a Ludo piece
David,
on my shoulder. This shoulder is going to be Ludo's face with the knocker in his mouth. I can't wait.
oh my god. Yeah, when I saw that dog as a puppy, I was like, "You're a little Ludo, aren't you?" And yeah, he howls like him too. He's a big Saint Bernard, so he's like 165 pounds of but he thinks he's he thinks he's a little dog. He thinks he's a Pomeranian. And he's smart as one too.
I don't know this Ludo, but he's my new favorite Ludo.
And my cat, I have two cats. One is named Nimbus, which I named after the cloud from Dragon Ball. And the other one is Nox, which is the Harry Potter command to turn the lights off.
That one I knew. I'm a Hufflepuff. Gotta know these things.
I won't hold that against you. I'm a Slytherin. I'm hated everywhere I go.
You're a what?
It is like I'm a Slytherin. Like everyone thinks they're
best friends.
We are like I'm supposed to be like the guy who like looks out for the guys by the kitchen. Like I get it.
No, that's not.
And I try to explain to people like not all Slytherins.
And then bake you cookies.
Damn right. And then like nobody bullies my Hufflepuff pals. You leave them alone. Like I was not always a Harry Potter fan. I'm not gonna lie. I was a Star Wars fan for life. But my wife got me into it by actually like sitting me down. She being like, if you can't. She's like, she taught me something very valuable about being a geek. You can't make fun of something unless you've actually experienced it or seen it for yourself. I feel like people who like talk trash about any kind of fandom, but they've never actually looked at it. That's false. That's just falsehood. I don't think that's cool. Like I can actually talk trash about Twilight. I've seen it, but I won't because I get it. But vampires don't sparkle. Damn it! 30 Days of Night is an accurate vampire movie. 30 Days of Night. Watch that vampire film. But when it comes to Harry Potter, the books are phenomenal. They're really good. There's so much backstory that's missing in the movies. They could have done a whole movie about the hillbilly life of Voldemort growing up. I would have watched that show.
They still might. Who knows?
If they remade Harry Potter, I don't know. That'd be like remaking Lord of the Rings.
I'm
Like some
not saying
things should
they'll
not be
remake it.
touched.
I'm just saying there's supposed to be a Marauders TV show. J.K. Rowling knows that she's losing her space, and she's grasping for that.
She's made questionable decisions. I think, not to get too deep into like
Yeah,
the
no, this
social
is about
politics of it.
magic.
Yeah.
But since we're off topic anyway, again, doing some light stalking on your page, and I learned that you're a DC fan. So I have to ask, how does it feel to have terrible taste?
So it's really funny you mentioned that because I am actually gone through a conversion recently. So I told you that I'm the host of a podcast which is called The Hateful Geeks. We were in transition and shut down for 2020. My friend, his mom passed away, God rest her. So he didn't want to do the show for a year. So we took a year off so he could mourn and we could figure out like what we're going to do in the middle of a pandemic when we can't go to the movies anymore.
Right.
Because we talked mostly about like comics and comic book films. We talked about like basically nerd culture, like all the Star Wars stuff, like all that stuff. We have episodes on all
Sounds
of it.
like a
And
podcast I need to follow.
there's a lot of swearing and a lot of trash talk, guys. So if you do check out the podcast, just know it's all in good fun and it's all meant to trigger. That's the goal. The goal is to trigger conversation as well as people, but it's all meant in good fun. So if you hear something you don't like, wasn't me, it was Andy. um, but when it comes to so your main question is like, I'm a big DC fanboy. How does it feel not to have taste, right? Well, I actually came to Jesus about that a couple months ago because I've decided I am the biggest defender of DC cinematic universe. I think Man of Steel. I still think Man of Steel is a great movie. Man of Steel is a proper origin film. Man of Steel is not just an origin of Superman and where he comes from. It's an origin of his outlook on humanity. Him killing Zod in the end, everyone's like, Superman wouldn't do that. Well, that's because he's not really Superman yet. He just got into the first fist fight of his entire life and took out an entire city in the process. So he's learned two things. Next time there's this thing called collateral damage, and maybe I don't need to kill them. And that's the origin of Superman and why he becomes this Boy Scout. And I loved it. I thought Zack Snyder made a smart decision to teach us about that character. And then the rest of the DC universe took a huge face dive into the shallow end of the pool, except for Wonder Woman 1, which is a great movie to this day. But let's be honest,
we can have different
Batfleck,
opinions.
but I think Wonder Woman 1's fantastic. 1984 was that. Batfleck, I thought was a good casting decision, but poorly handled. And then the rest of the DC universe is just not done well at all. So I decided that at this time in my life, I need to just let go. And besides, right now is the height of X-Men comics. Right now, X-Men on paper is some of the best reads I've seen in 20 years on comic industry. House of X is incredible, and I don't want to like spoiler it for anyone, but the mutants just terraformed Mars. Like that's how badass they are. Pardon my French, but so I've gone full Marvel fanboy. I'm all in on X-Men, and Magneto's my jam. Magneto was my boy.
Spider-Man is
So
the jam,
sorry, DC,
and has been since the first terrible Spider-Man movie. And then, the slightly even more terrible one after that, and then the really, really, really bad one right after that. I wasn't a fan of the Andrew Garfield phase, but, it's still Spider-Man.
I love Spidey. Spidey's a great read. I thought Into the Spider-Verse was one of the best Spider-Man movies, period. Like even as an animated film, the Spider-Verse has so much potential for the Spider-Man mythos. And the rumor is that in the next Venom film, Let There Be Carnage, that there's going to be ties to the Spider-Verse because of all the crazy multiverse stuff that's going on in Marvel right now. So the rumor is that you will see Venom and Spider-Man on film together eventually. Maybe. But then again, this is all nerd talk, and who knows? Like tomorrow they could change their mind.
All right. Well,
I did like the Sam Raimi movies, though. The Tobey, except for the third one, but I like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the first one.
Tobey Maguire was my favorite Spider-Man until Tom Holland happened.
He's so good.
So perfect.
But he can't keep his mouth shut. He can't stop spoiling everything on national television.
That's fair. but I feel like I would have the same problem. You just get too excited and you start talking. Notice how I haven't been able to stay on topic once.
No, but I think that's the sign of a good interviewer. Like the interview is fluid and it doesn't always have to be stringent. Like stick to the topic. And some of the best interviews go on complete tangents. Look at Jimmy Kimmel. He can't keep an interview together to save his life.
Wouldn't know. Never watched him.
Good for you.
Don't even
Don't.
know why he's famous. Couldn't tell you.
Why Jim? Why Saturday Night Live? Probably. I don't know.
Was he on that?
He sure was. God, I'm old. Thank you.
Don't know.
Oh yeah. So you're a big DC person then. So is it strictly Spider-Man, or do you like? Are there any other titles you read?
I don't. I didn't have the ability to read most of the comics because I grew up semi abused and living under a rock, so it was just the movies for me really. I've been trying to find some of the comics to be able to read them, but now I was like X-Men movies and the Spider-Man movies was like my jam.
So I do digital, and then I think it's a lot easier in this day and age. I think you're still going to find your comic book fans who are paper purists, but when we're done here, I'll hook you up with a link,
Sweet.
and I can get you access to some comics that you can peruse at your leisure. It's Tiny Guy 83. Being old is okay. Thanks, Tiny Guy. I needed that. I needed that.
All right.
What's next on your list of awesome questions?
But they're not that awesome. I tried. So if you were a planeswalker, what would your color identity be, and what would be some of your abilities?
Oh, that's not fair. Five color. I'd be five color planeswalker, but I focus on artificing. And I would time manipulation, time travel, stopping time and like moving forward in time and back. Yeah, yeah. I like taking multiple turns. The look on people's faces when I play Stitch in Time and then I copy it 6 times is like I don't know. It's like num 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 num. Your pain is delicious. So yes, that's the planeswalker I want to be. I want
On
to just
the
take
first of
multiple
my
turns.
6 turns, a few
That was
scoops.
rough. I literally was. I'm gonna burn 3 turns just so I can draw cards, and then now I'm ready to attack you.
Well, speaking of scooping, are there any cards that as soon as they hit the table, you're out?
No, no. I think one of the things I get it. I'm not. There's been a lot of like controversy in the community lately about this card or that card and people's behavior behind them. I am never the type of person who's like, you played that. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm taking my ball and going home. I will take my beating like a man or a woman for that matter. I will just take my beating like a person. And like I deserved it. Like if they're playing a good card and they have a combo that works with it, then that's a great deck. If my deck can't do anything about it, then that's something that I can work on to build my deck in the future. I think that there's no such thing as a perfect deck that can handle every situation and every card. If there is a card I'm afraid of, it's Spore Frog, and that's only because everyone else's fear of it has led me to be completely afraid of it.
Is Eidolon Blossom there? Does Shay have a gun to your head? Is that what's happening?
No, what? No, no, Eidolon Blossom's not here. No, I'm good.
Okay. I was just checking.
There, what's the other card that I'm like? Oh, Rule of Law. Like, I don't hate Rule of Law, but man, it's like I got to get to bed at some point in time. Like Rule of Law, it's like slow. It's not so much I'm mad at you. It's just like, man, I'm tired. It's like 3 in the morning. You played Rule of Law twice,
Was it
but
good
then
that
again, I
I
play
don't ask
Silent
these
Arbiter.
questions in like a specific order? Because I've noticed that with you and Evie May, because of how much we talk, we end up answering like 3 of the questions for each one that I actually ask. So I think I'm actually on my last question. Oh no, wait, I have to do the favorites. Okay. How many playmats do you own, and do you have a favorite?
Oh my God, I'm so happy you asked this question. So I actually before I never even owned a playmat, but now um upon my return to the game, I got myself my own custom playmat, and it is by far my favorite because it's Berserk. So I have like Griffith and Guts like in the middle of a fight, and I love playing this with my knight deck. But I got my wife an early birthday present. Her birthday's in August. I won't say what date, but she's in August, and she's been such an awesome, supportive, and sporting person when it comes to this game. She's learned to play. She's enjoying cracking packs with me, and she's beaten me a couple times. And she's finally got to the point where like the mechanics, she gets it. So as a gift for her, I got her her own Harry Potter anime Battle of Hogwarts playmat.
That is awesome.
It's got all the silly little Weasleys on there. They don't have any cool people like Draco, but it is what it is.
Ron Weasley is an angel. I would die
Ron
for
Weasley.
that one.
Ron Weasley's cool.
The other brother that
Little
I'm blanking on the name of right now.
Charlie.
Charlie, yeah, that's the one. I knew I would think of it as soon as I said that I was blanking on it because I'm that kind of person.
I think Ron's confidence issues throughout the majority of the books are a problem. I don't really think that Hermione would have logistically stuck around for a guy who can't like see his own self-worth even when he's the best friends of the chosen one. Like at some point in time, Ron needs to step up and be like, you know what? I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me.
As somebody that comes from a family with that many siblings, I get it. Especially when
But
you're the
he was the
forgotten
one who was
one.
friends with Harry. He's the
Yeah.
one who was nice to Harry. He's the first person who put out his hand and was like, "You can have half my sandwich, bro." A nasty sandwich on a train. But Ron was the first person to be like, "I get it, man." So I think Ron just should have somebody to pull Ron aside and be like, "Hey, man, stop thinking so bad about yourself. You're a pretty cool dude."
It's one of those things that's just a really hard habit to break. But yeah, no, okay, so officially the last question, everybody's least favorite question. Who are some of your favorite content creators that you feel deserve more recognition?
Oh, content creators. I feel like the ones I follow a lot really get a lot of recognition, but um, I want to throw shout outs to Good Feather, Good Dot Feather. Um, Andrew was one of the first people that a creator that I was able to play Spell Table with. He actually showed me how to use the program, and I've had some really fun games and getting to know him. I think his content is really smart. He really knows Magic lore, and he does a lot of video on like the story, which I think is like a really underappreciated aspect of it. So I feel like he should get some more reco for that. Um, actually, one of the other people's actually in my one of my viewers in my channel, Flowing Phoenix. She's got some fun. She's got a cool aesthetic. I like her trend videos she does, and I think that she really like appreciates the game. I like her content. It is what it is. I think that she should probably have like a thousand more views than she currently the followers than she currently has. And there's one other. Let me pull up my. I wanted to give this person a shout out too, and I need to pull up my friends list. Where are you at? Insert background music song while I scroll. Oh no. Well, maybe I'm bad at this.
Oh no.
Crud. I'm really bad with names, and that's my own fault for just having like terrible memory. If I go here and I go to my followers, it should. You know what? I'll post it later. I'm really like for most of the stuff I look at is like I look at a lot of your stuff. I look at the EDH Outlaw guys, Richard and Ricky, Gamer Mom Bomb, Ashwee. Basically anyone that I'm playing Spell Table with, I check out their stuff all the time. Um, I Man, you really put me on the spot. I'm gonna look like a poo poo.
You know
Like
what?
to
This is notice for everyone that's on the list that I reach out to do Magic Talk with Sage. That's gonna be a question. Make a list. Figure out who you think needs more followers. Shout them out. It's a question. It's not going anywhere. It's my favorite question because I have so many that if I had the time to write out the list, it would be done. It would be so easy. Not supposed to do this.
I'm a Oh, Bubba, Bubba EDH,
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I know who that is.
but Bubba EDH noob. I might be. I mean, I'm gonna type him in because I know Bubba is. Yeah, Bubba EDH noob. Um, he's one of my favorites. I like his content, but I like his sense of humor, and I've played a lot of games with him. But he's only he's only got like 633 followers. I'm like, how is that even possible, bro? You
I
should have
mean,
like 5K.
he needs to
So
get pushing
go
in
check
all
out
of his
Bubba
spell
EDH noob.
table games.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like he's like I see him in almost every single one of them. So I feel like he knows and plays with everybody. So yeah, check out Flowing underscore Phoenix and check out Bubba EDH Noob. These are two. You guys get my
And
hateful
good
geeks
dot
two thumbs of
feather.
approval. Good dot feather. Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. And that's so. I know this was your last question, but can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
So I was on I want to say hiatus, but work was really getting crazy for me, and the family and I were going on like little trips and stuff. And when I came back, there was a lot of I was seeing a very large trend of videos in the TikTok magic community about like toxicity and things like that going down. I am in the dark. I do not know what has gone on. And I was kind of hoping that maybe this would be a good place for you to enlighten me about like what's been
So
going on with our community.
I'm not the best person to ask, but it's my understanding that when Hullbreacher got banned, and I could be wrong here, feel free to yell at me in the comments, but when Hullbreacher got banned, apparently when people were putting their opinion on it and out about it and making videos about it, anybody that disagreed was getting death threats.
What?
Anybody that said Hullbreacher shouldn't be banned was getting death threats, which is the only reason that I haven't talked about the fact that I was literally a paycheck away from going to buy a Hullbreacher for my Niv Mizzet deck the day that it got banned. Like, that was the next card I was going to go out and buy. Because I'm a little disappointed it's banned. I can see why, but, like, I don't want death threats. I'm already suicidal enough. Don't give me a reason.
No, yeah, it's a game. It's something that we're all supposed to have fun with, and I mean, it sucks. You know, you paid money for something, you're invested in something, and it's no longer viable in like casual or competitive play. But that's like this. One of the things I was so happy about when I even joined TikTok was just how amazing the Magic community is. Like everyone is so uplifting and they're happy. They're just excited about this game and sharing it with everybody. And hearing like something like that happen is really heartbreaking. It has no place in our community. So I kind of hope that I haven't experienced anything like that. I made a whole breacher video, but it literally was to say is like I don't know what this is. I I didn't I didn't have the card. I didn't know what was wrong with it. I didn't know why it was so broken because I look at you read it and you're like this doesn't seem that bad, but apparently it was breaking games. But I'm a firm believer in when it comes to this game, everyone's got what they enjoy. Everyone's got their niche, their style, if you will, and that's for them to decide. I love your question, what kind of planeswalker would you be? Because my little nerdy inner LARPer is like, this is me playing spells. Yeah.
I made mine. Mine is ready to go. We're trying to get a game together on Spell Table where we're gonna have an artist. Like I made my entire character like exactly my cost, my loyalty, my abilities, what they do, and I've got a static ability that says I can be your commander. We're trying to get together for Sage's Space, the spell table that I'm going to be doing for YouTube. Everybody to make their own planeswalker, get it put on an actual card, whether it's just painted over a land or whatever, and build a deck around it.
This like my inner geek is like,
Do
yeah,
you want
I
in?
want to do this.
So far, it's me
I
and
don't.
Joey. I need a third and a fourth. I need 4 people.
I would love to make my own planeswalker card, but it won't be nearly as good as Brody.
I mean,
I
you can
need.
take all your time to think about it. This is not the very next one on the list. I've got. Are you're in? Are you in the Discord for the Sage's Space?
I am, yeah. I know I'm in
Okay.
Sage of Space Discord. I'm on Josh MTG Noob, and I'm on Ashwee and Gamer Mom Bomb.
Okay. Yeah. Um, Tiny guy, you can't be the Bant Walker. I'm the Bant Walker.
Flowing Phoenix just messaged in my chat saying that her planeswalker would have a lightsaber. And I say hell yes, because the multiverse in Magic is infinite, and thus there has to be one that takes place in the Star Wars universe. Just accept it. I accept it. If there's a D&D Magic universe, there's a Star Wars one. They just haven't made it yet.
I mean, we've got what? We've got fucking shit. I'm not supposed to cuss. I've done it twice now. I'll just cut that part. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just making more work for myself in editing.
You'll only have to bleep twice. We're doing good so far.
I'm not even gonna bleep it. I'm just gonna cut it. Like, I'm gonna tell myself, okay, here's where you're good. That's where you can go back to talking. Nobody needs to know what you said. Well, you can tell I worked in a factory overnight for 4 years. I can't contain the cussing. Anyway, what was I saying?
I'm Sicilian, so in my family, swearing was like punctuation.
I had the line from The Princess Bride, and I almost was just like,
never go up against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Death is on the line.
I used to say that a lot in high school.
I love
and sadly, death was not on the line.
That movie, I literally grew up on that movie and Spaceballs. Those are the two movies I quote the most. But anyway, I was saying a thing, and then I got sidetracked by cussing and yelling at myself. Oh yeah, okay. We have the zombie TV show Walking Dead. We have that. We have those. We have D&D. Who's to say that we couldn't have Star Wars?
I actually enjoy the way Magic has been branching out and doing like pre-done intellectual properties. I'm not a big Walking Dead. I'm more of a comic book guy than the show. I stopped watching when they got to Terminus, but
watching. I don't know when, so no spoilers.
Walking Dead's been over for. I mean, I'm not going to spoil that for anybody. I feel like there's a lot of untapped potential out there. Untapped potential. Magic humor. Anyway, I think that they could do a lot of. I should. There's a lot. This is untapped. Should they do Star Wars? Probably not. I think that's going to trigger a lot of like hardcore Magic people. But you could do like Wheel of Time. Maybe Dark Tower, like the Stephen King stuff. I think the Dark Tower would be an incredible set of Magic cards. You could do some fun stuff there. Superheroes, maybe the world's not ready for that yet. But I feel like there's an intellectual property out there that could have some mana attached to it at some point in time.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I would like to see done as alternative arts, the way that they did Godzilla, that one set. Like there's don't at me.
I'm so sad that you brought up. So when I found out that those cards existed, collector's boxes of Ikoria don't exist anymore. They are impossible to find.
I have one. I just don't know which one, and I'm not going to use it. I'll trade you.
I have Space Godzilla, which came with when I bought the box, but finding a whole set, like unless you're going for collector's boosters, it's not really. I mean, I guess I could buy them in singles, but the cost of them has gone through the roof.
I have no idea which one I have. It was given to me as a birthday gift, and I know that I'm never going to use it. I'll have to figure out which one it is and where I put it.
I will give you a fair trade for that card because really I want a Mecha Godzilla, and I want a God, what was it called? I know it's not a very good card, but I want Baby Godzilla because who doesn't want the adorable little Baby Godzilla?
All right, well, this is the time for you to splash your username all over the place so that the YouTube people can find you.
Yeah, the Hateful Geeks.
Don't forget the underscores; those are important.
Yep, underscores instead of spaces. We're on Instagram, and I'm the primary user of our TikTok, which is why it's all about Magic. My other hosts, they are our actual episodes are coming back. They can be found on any podcast. They can be found on your iTunes podcast, any kind of podcast app you use. I think we're gonna go back to iHeartRadio as well. But we have like 70 episodes. They range from anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on the topic. But there's a lot of backfilling there, and we're gonna have some new episodes coming out. We've actually recorded one, but my editor's in Disney World with his new family. So he's not doing his job. He's in the teacups puking his guts out. So we got more episodes to come, but yeah, the Hateful Geeks. Hopefully it stays that way. But thanks again for having me on your show, Sage. I
Oh, thank
appreciate
you
it.
so much for being the first person off of Joey's list to reach out to me.
I was really excited when Joey said that I could be on the show because I was like this is gonna get crazy. Like what are we gonna get into? And then I found out that you were taking over for him. And I was like, this is still gonna get crazy. This is gonna be even more
Yeah,
fun. But
I'm
that was nice of Joey. I think that it's cool that Joey has passed the torch and that you're doing a great job handling it so far. I've liked the last couple of episodes I've watched.
booked out till September 20th. Now,
Wow, yeah.
keep in
So
mind, guys,
you are
I haven't announced this yet, but it's going to change. So I'm still going to do Mondays because Mondays are my day off. But I am actually quitting the electronics job to the point that I'm only going to be doing that from home one day a week. And I'm going back to Domino's full time as a manager rather than just a shift lead. So if you guys see me on live and it says like MTAS, like Magic Talk a la Sage, but it'll be, feel free to pop in and I'll be taking random Magic Talks at that point in time. Because I can only book one day a week, and I don't know other than that when I'm going to be free. So I'm just going to be like getting online whenever my phone's not, trying to kill itself and not charging. It's plugged in and it's not charging, and it's driving me nuts. But at those point in time, I'll be taking random Magic Talks. So just be prepared to talk, be prepared for random questions. But it's open to anybody unless you have a booked date, and then that's not really fair because then I have to fill your spot. And this is in pen. But feel free to just randomly do a live me, send me the invitation, and if I'm not doing something already, I'll accept it. But that was my announcement that I was going to make at the beginning, and then I forgot. So I'll do it at the end.
awesome. Well, again, thanks again for having me as a guest. And if you guys aren't already following her, you need to be following this person. Like this is one of the this is actually when I first got here, like you were one of the first creators that I actually saw. And then that was actually right before your name change situation took place. And I was like shocked that happened. And I was really happy that you came back because I was upset for you in that circumstance. So thank you for helping to make the community a better place.
Personally, I think it was probably the best thing that ever happened to my account, which sounds terrible, but there were so many people on the old account that were following me for my makeup videos or the couple of random videos of my cat or, the story time about my dog getting stolen
Oh
that
no.
90% of my followers weren't actually there for Magic. And so my Magic stuff was just getting lost to the algorithm.
Huh. Well,
I'm getting way better views and way better comments on the new channel where it's strictly Magic based. Now, granted, anyone that wants to follow me over there for makeup and cat stuff, I'm going to keep posting makeup and stuff over there because I don't need to go live for makeup. I haven't been doing makeup lately. Like I had tried today and it's just a bunch of hearts and some eyeliner. It's boring.
I'll follow for kitty cat stuff. I love kitty cats.
My cats are currently living at my friend's house, so they're not here right now. I took them over there separately for their. I took the boy over there when the female went in heat because they were like a week away from going to get fixed. And then I took the girl over there because I needed a ride to get them fixed. And I have not been allowed to bring them back because my friend's mom loves them.
Oh no.
And every time I'm like, can I take my cats home now? She's like, no. She's like, Anakin killed 3 birds today. So can I take him home now?
Little meow chicken meow meow.
My cat, the little one, likes Kalia. She likes to run out in the street and lose her collar. And I'm really afraid that somebody's going to be like, this cat's really sweet. I'm just going to keep it now. And I'm like, I will find you and I will kill you. That is my cat.
Oh no. Yeah. I don't know what ever happened. Oh, God. They're like my fur babies. And I like my real kid. She's great, but I really like my fur baby.
I can't say anything. I only have fur babies. I have a dog and 2 cats.
My daughter's 2.5, and her favorite word is no, and that isn't. Any other parents out there, that's frustrating. And she has a whole vocabulary for being 2.5, but her favorite word is no, daddy.
I tried to teach
So
a
say,
6-year-old how to play Nintendo 64 today. He couldn't grasp the concept that the middle controller is actually the left controller. You don't need to hold the outside ones. You can't hit the button if you're holding the outside ones.
I think as a parent, I am looking forward to when she can read and do math because then she's going to learn magic. And my dream is for my own child to like skunk me in a game, just completely just decimate me. I don't get a point of damage off, and that is just like I feel like I've accomplished something at that point. Like all my life of like screw ups and failures will come to a head if I can just make that one thing happen. Anyway, I gotta. It's 10 to 5. I've got a 6 a.m. shift I have to start. But thanks again for having me on the show. It's been a blast. And if you
Absolutely.
ever have a cancellation, let me know. I'll hop in.
Fantastic. All right, everybody have a great night. I'm out.
Thanks for showing up.